Now we have a look at the second theme of a documentary about the German church. So this is the second theme, and the director wanted to have a small theme, 20 seconds long, and he wanted to have 8 cycles. So you can see them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 20 seconds long. And my concept was that I tried to use just minor chords, because the theme was about the German church and taboo. So the first one is C minor, then D minor with the 11, F minor with A flat at the bass, F minor, C minor with E flat at the bass, G sus4, and now you think I play this. But I don't. I move the G to the F. And then that's the first cycle and it goes to the next cycle. Okay, so let's listen to the first cycle. Here we just have the solo violin and the organ. Okay, let's go to the second cycle. Here we add some strings. I'm adding the viola, first chair by orchestral tools, and Spitfire strings. And now I introduce the bass, the root notes, the first time with the instrument just for this one. And that's it. Now we get to the third cycle. Here I'm adding bass with a giant. And I introduce the man singing the bass too. Here I use Metropolis Arc 1, and you can see that I used audio files. So I rendered my MIDI clips into audio files because here I can edit the volume very, very fast. You see here in the first cycle or third, I'm at 0 dB. The next cycle we are at 2 dB, so a little bit louder. And here 4 dB louder. And here much more, and 6 and 7 dB. So I'm faster than doing volume automation or using plugins or something else. And you can see the difference. So I can make it a little bigger. So here you can see that I gained the volume a little bit. And we've got another organ playing here. So this organ is just doubling this Paganini solo violin. So let's hear this cycle. And in the next cycle, I'm adding the cello. So this one is played by Cinematic Studio Solo Strings. And perhaps you heard it, we've got a synth bass. Played by Monarch Reactor by Native Instruments and using the mini filter by Arturia. I love this filter and I love to move the cutoff frequency always just a little bit. And here is a low organ. Next is a kick coming from kick 2, and I rendered again as audio files. So for me, it's again very, very easy to change the volume and not doing this by velocity, so I can do it in here. And now we hear the women singing. Now we get to the next circle and the kick is now playing 4 on the floor. So it sounds a little bit more marching. And the giant played before this just the bass notes, but now let's listen to what he's doing now. And now I add some strings played by Albion. And I'm adding another cello. Played by Spitfire Audio, Spitfire Chamber Strings. Gosh, a long name. So here are the cellos. And we are coming to the next circle, circle number 6. I'm adding the third cello, played by LA scoring strings. I love it. It's so bitey, it's so fresh and harsh. I love it very much. Yeah, very much. So here we are removing bass. So the sub bass is not playing anymore, but now we hear bass organ. And I wanted to have enough place for the organ and for the giant and for the strings. So I didn't need to have the bass anymore, but the kick is moving on. So, and here is another element introduced, this one. It looks like I played it like the string, the main violin, but I didn't. So this is how it looks like. And here I used the Larry Music plug by Heavy City, and there are some sounds that sounds very organic, very nice. So in the track it sounds like a harpsichord. And let's hear it without the shaper box. And I wanted to have it a little bit more punchy. Now we come to cycle number 7, and here is the first violin played by LA scoring strings. And it's playing at the last cycle, but with 1 octave higher. So what do we have here more? Now we've got some chords played by the organ, and you see again audio files. Now we get to the last cycle, and the funny thing is that these chords now get lower in the volume, but now I use another organ playing the chords too. And here are audio clips of the bass notes. And now there's coming a second bass drum. So the first bass drum is doing this. And the second sounds like the same, right? But let's try play them together. So we got the offbeat and we got the eighth notes. And here I can choose how low is the volume, or I can use the fader. So again, I like to work with audio files. Not all the time, but here it makes sense to me. But in the mix, they are not very loud. At the end, we've got two different riser. It's always good to work with cliches. So the first cliche is organ. The second cliche is the choir. And the third cliche, tubular bell. So here is my tubular bell at the end. And I pitched it down one octave because I wanted to have a low tubular bell. And I wanted to change the timbre a little bit deeper, so sounding deeper, not just only by the frequencies. And one organ is playing very fast at the end. I guess it's been this one. Just here. So let's hear the last cycle. This was a short overview how I compose. When you like this video, please give me a thumb up. It would make me very happy. And when you got some questions or suggestions, just leave a comment. And at the right video, at the right top, you can see how I compose the trailer for a Planetarium show. See you on the next time. Bye.